Okay. Welcome to the 3M podcast. My name is DJ.
Okay. My name is Charlie.
My name's Sean.
And we tell scary stories, crack jokes, make light of everything possible. Let's clear our entire wish list and just do Funko Pops.
Okay, because here's the thing. I spent like 3 hours on the wish list recently. So
Were you adding Funko Pops?
All for nothing. Yeah. There are no Funko Pops.
I'm down. Just fill up the room with Funko Pops. I'm totally down.
That
How are you two
might
doing?
Be more scary than the doll.
Doing well. Dude, speaking of collectibles,
Oh,
have you ever been to the NPS store? Is that what it's called?
No.
Have you been
what in
there?
the hell is that?
There's one in Orem. I swear like every city has a place like this, but it's just like a surplus store.
Yeah.
Like items that are like kind of damaged or slightly defected, they get sent there and they're sold at like a super discounted rate.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
So they have everything from groceries to furniture
Yeah. Mhm.
to kitchen appliances. Like
It's called the NPS store.
I believe so, yeah. Everything under the sun sold super cheap. And dude, we spent like an hour and a half in that store. Insane. And I'm walking through the back in the electronics section, and right next to the handguns are these sick ass packs of Pokemon cards.
Let's go.
And dude, I don't know why. Like, I know like opening Pokemon cards has been like a trend on like Twitch for the
Mhm.
last couple of years. I was like, yeah, whatever. But when I saw it in front of my face, I just had to have it.
Wait, you bought them?
So I asked the clerk there, I was like, yo, how much is a pack of these? And there's different ones. And there was like a Halloween themed one where all the cards inside were like psychic and ghost type Pokemon.
Dope.
Dope.
And I was like,
My
yeah,
favorite.
how much are the
National
Halloween
Product
ones?
Store.
And dude, 18 cents.
Stop.
18 cents
so
a pack. So I
how
was
many
like,
did you
we'll
get that-
take the lot. And he was like, oh, you can only buy 2.
Oh,
And I was like,
what the?
so I bought 2.
Is this like a rolling 24 hours you can buy 2? Or like, how does that work? How are they going to know?
I think it's 2 once a day. Yeah, every 24 hours.
Did you send your homies in?
Yeah,
up?
exactly. Yeah, I was about to like run a hustle there right there.
Yeah.
I'm finna go there this weekend,
And
dude.
somebody in chat said NPS is a nationwide thing.
Okay.
National Product Store is
Yeah.
what it is. So yeah, I bought 2 packs.
Did you get any
And,
good
dude,
ones?
one, it was I mean, everyone every millennial at least, you know, Pokemon was such a big part of their lives, I feel like, at least all the boys. And the last time I opened a pack of Pokemon cards, I was probably like single digits. you know,
Oh,
in
damn.
age. So it was way nostalgic. Opening it, taking it out, flipping them over one by one. It was dope.
Seeing what you got.
Yeah. So
Did you get any good ones?
Did-
though?
I got a holofoil card. in one of them.
Oh,
It was like one of the newer generation Pokemon, so I don't really care about that. But I got a Cubone.
Yeah.
dope.
Cubone kind of cute, but he's an OG. I think you like hunt his dead mother or something in the Pokemon game, right?
What?
Anyway.
Like the skull he's wearing is his dead mom.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Dude, that's savage.
Yeah.
Not that
There's a
cute.
really sad comic where like his mom dies and he crawls into her skull and falls asleep and wakes up and then he's
Can't get
Cubone.
it off.
Anyway. Yeah.
Dude, that's a horror story in and of itself. man.
Depression. Yeah.
Let me just crawl
let's
into my
stay clear of
mom's
that.
skull right here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
Cubone?
Littlefoot, bro,
Yeah.
from
Oh shit! The saddest story
Land
ever.
Before Time. Yeah, what the hell?
Cubone was the original Jeffrey Dahmer.
Bambi. Can we talk about how Disney just be grooming kids for like trauma? It's like within the first act of every Disney movie, like a parent's dead,
That's true.
parent's gonna die. It's like that's trauma, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Isn't that the thing? Like every Disney princess, like their parent has died, or their parent is just like incredibly disagreeable with anything they do or believe.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, parents suck ass, dude. That's all that you learn.
Yeah, that's a huge movement, especially in Utah, like where everything's really like nuclear family oriented. A lot of the Utah.
What'd you call me?
A lot of the.
Oh yeah, well, dude,
a lot.
you're a parent now. You suck.
No, oriented
No.
is what I thought he said.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the nuclear.
Dude, all 5 of those, bro.
times, dude.
Did you say Hiroshima? What the? nuclear. Damn.
Utah
ouch.
families do not, as much as they love Disney, they've been loving it less and less from what I see.
Because they're getting woke, baby.
Yeah, because Disney's getting
Because there's a black
so woke.
black mermaid, dude.
That's hilarious.
That was enough for them to be like, I'm out. It was their entire identity, and then it's like Ariel has pigment, and they're
One
like,
thing,
I'm
and
done.
they're like, that's not possible in the deep sea.
I don't want to be a part of this world, you know. That's a reference to the song, the Ariel song.
I see.
Yo, Mark Norman.
okay.
Somebody brought up the Little Mermaid trailer with Mark Norman in one of his stand-up shows, and he was like, I kind of agree, you know, because I dated a black girl, and they can't get that hair wet. I was like,
I'm glad you said that joke, DJ.
but he dated a black
hey.
girl, so he can do whatever, you know?
Yeah, you're allowed. You two got new jobs.
Sure did.
Yeah. Yeah,
exciting.
we did.
Wow.
I mean,
Sean was without job. DJ was searching.
Yeah.
You guys leveled up, and I'm about to quit mine.
Ooh.
you got another one lined up, or are you going to be in the search?
No, it's because we're famous now, dude.
Oh, shit. Tell us
true,
why.
dude.
Tell me why.
Well, the real reason why is because Brittany's holding us down. And while I was taking my mental break and crying for the last month, she's just been heavily grinding on TikTok. And so she'd be posting mad TikToks, and they'd be kind of popping off here and there. And then one blew up this week.
Tell us about it.
So is it a scary story? No.
Not at all.
Is it a funny story about any of us?
No.
Also, no.
No.
It's okay. It's just content.
Do you guys want to watch? And for it's, I'm kind of joking because like it blew up for us, but it didn't blow up for TikTok standard. TikTok standard blow up is like 50 million views. You know what I'm saying?
For real, dude?
Yeah. So,
No,
but
dude.
if you
I mean, yeah.
you've been on TikTok for like 18 minutes, how do you know?
You're comparing us to what? The gold standard, like triple A.
Charlie
list?
D'Amelio, baby. Yeah.
So
None
All
of
those
us are-
14-year-olds. I think I'm yelling. I'm sorry.
it's
Yeah,
okay.
why are you so mad, bro?
Passion, real passion.
Young Ren, are you there?
What up?
Are you able to go into our show notes and click on the TikTok so we can watch it with the group? So, is it a scary story, guys? Is it a personal anecdote about our lives? No, it's not. It's me telling an off-cuff random synopsis of a documentary I once saw. Peep the likes, peep the likes.
Ooh.
Man, hella people in the comments telling me how dumb I am.
Actually,
I think that's...
Are we
What's that?
can we not say?
we weren't sure what was going wrong with it, but it got like taken down for a second for no reason.
So first, someone reported us because we were talking about weed and selling weed. So
Yeah.
Brittany took it down. It had
Like, we had the
a
complaint?
ton of views.
Like
yeah. Someone reported us and we got stricken down and they pulled it down.
they showed us like what the complaint was.
Yeah, it said
Yes.
something with
Then
like,
Brittany re-edited it, put it back up without the weed, and then we got reported again and taken down. And this time it was for, in one of those photos, there's like a bullet in the background.
What?
So Brittany refuted it and they were like, all right, you're right. And they let us put it back up.
Bro, there's some Karens out there reporting bullets, dude.
So,
But real quick, can we get a round of applause for Brittany, dude?
Yeah.
Dude, one of my favorite parts of that video, though, was where like the people were telling you were wrong, and then everyone else telling that person they were stupid.
so funny.
Yeah. Someone's like, okay, this never happened. And someone's like, bro, this is literally there's a documentary about it. Someone's like, made up story. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
yeah. He's like, I'll take things that never happened for 200. And somebody was like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
you
all
lose.
Yeah. It's like when they talk
Yeah.
about like the moon not happening, just like get out of here, right?
Read a
But,
goddamn
I mean-
get out
book,
of here,
bro.
right?
But yeah, where am I going to go?
Right.
The fake
Oh,
moon?
yeah, dude. It's a projection, dog.
Yeah, I think I was dying, right? During the time of that recording.
You may have been.
Y'all just joking about weed and smoking, and I'm like actually trying to,
He's actually trying to breathe.
Yeah. Or I'm like, have you seen that documentary? Damn. Well, you laugh through the pain, and that's what we do here at 3 a.m. So anyway, we're blowing up. If you guys want to go follow us, we're at the 3 a.m. Pod on TikTok. Give us some love. Get in early, guys, because we're going to the moon. You know, rocket ship, rocket ship, rocket ship.
LFG.
Yeah.
LFG.
Anyway, that was exciting.
Yeah.
Speaking of TikTok, I've been thinking about like the current state of music and like trending music. So
Yeah.
the number one song in the world right now is from an artist named Steve Lacy. And if you're on social media at all, you have probably heard the song, and it's trending everywhere. I don't even know the name of the song. It's like, but it goes like, I wish I knew. I wish I knew you. You've heard you right, guys?
No, dude.
Yeah.
No, I'm down, dude.
I almost started dancing, bro.
Anyway, dude, there's been videos of him. He's on tour right now. So that song's from his new album that came out in the summer. There's been videos of him touring sold out shows.
Damn.
Cheapest tickets are hundreds of dollars.
Damn.
And in the crowd, it's packed. Everyone has their phones out. They're filming.
Let's go.
And he's showing up to all these major cities in America and across the globe. And people are coming to see him and paying big bucks. When he turns the mic to the crowd to sing, they sing those 2 lines. And then that's it.
Dead
it's just
silence.
And nobody is singing any of the other songs that he has. And it's so awkward. And I hate it so much.
That's hilarious, though.
It's hilarious for who?
For them having to pay hundreds of dollars for a cheap ticket and him making all that money, and that's all off of
True.
2 lines.
Yeah.
He's the real winner. They're getting got.
He's the real winner. I feel, there's definitely like multiple ways to approach it. On one hand, like Steve Lacy has actually been producing music for like 10 years. So he did a ton of work for Kendrick on To Pimp a Butterfly.
Oh, dope.
He's done work for Frank Ocean, Solange, Childish Gambino.
He deserves it then, dude.
So he's been more in like the background, like behind the curtain, doing he's a multi-instrumentalist. So he's been producing songs for all these artists. And then he comes out, he has like solo content and it's pretty decent. And then he came out with this album, and like the best things that trend are organic. Like they're not pushing it out themselves, right?
Right.
So it's like we never told the Patagonia story with TikTok in mind at all. For some reason, people picked it up, started commenting. I guess some people liked it.
Yeah.
Few people didn't, but we got traffic as a result of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know if he's handling it well, because if there's there are other videos of him.
Sean or Steve?
I know he's like
Both.
Speaking to Sean, yeah.
Sean's like, I can't.
Speaking to Sean's,
I can't handle the fame.
No, I can't
guys.
handle it.
There's videos of him grabbing people's phones and smashing it on stage.
Oh, dude.
The second a listener recognizes me, that's what I'm going to do to your phone, dude.
Don't say anything.
Why did it take you so
Charles
long?
in the wild?
So
Yeah.
there's a whole conversation going on around that, and if he's like justified,
No.
I would say also no.
you'd say no.
But that's because it's all about the money for me.
And the thing is, looking from where he came from, he obviously wasn't like going for the frontline meta mainstream to be recognized.
Yeah.
So his record label is like, you have the song popping off, you have to go on tour. Record labels like
Push that hard.
record labels, and Charles has been planning a segment on the music industry and the
And now
dark
we can
side
do it
of
because it's New Way.
yeah, for a long time. So maybe we'll tap into this. But record labels are like almost,
Sign your soul to the devil.
yeah, dude, like almost modern day slavery to a decent extent. So they definitely control their artists a ton.
Because
So-
they own your likeness in perpetuity, dude. Your name and likeness. Isn't that weird?
That's wild.
That's why we should dive into it, and actually we could use the help of the research team for that.
Oh, true.
So when you have somebody who is dictating your life, when you have people who, yes, they're giving you money, but Steve Lacy, I'd assume if he's producing albums for all these high profile artists, he wasn't really struggling for money before this album,
probably
you
not.
know? So he seems to be the type of person who didn't really ask for this and it was forced upon him. And from what I heard, his old concerts, he would have posters outside. This is before he like really blew up. He'd have posters outside of his concert and he'd like tell his listeners, do not bring your phones, no photography, no filming.
Oh.
So he was used to years of people just like being very present
Respecting that.
and respecting that.
being there for
Like
the
his real
music,
fans.
not
Yeah,
the
exactly.
clout.
And you have all these people. And see, it's been way more common for fans to like throw things at artists in the last few years. Like there's not a ton of
I
concert.
don't like that, bro.
Like concert etiquette has gone downhill from what I've seen personally. And
I blame
what I've seen
Travis.
online as well. That's
It probably
different.
started with
That's-
people dying.
yeah, that started from like his end, but not from the like in other cases. I feel like it comes from the people's end, like in Steve Lacy's case. So people are like throwing phones at him as like, "Do this, be real for me. Take this picture while you sing," and it's very much like a dance monkey kind of thing. You know?
man.
Like
yeah.
you need to perform for me, and I gave you money, so you should be stoked, you know, to do this and to be here for me.
With that context, yeah, he's okay breaking the phone.
Yeah, I kind of side
Sean
on him. You
has
swayed
a
me.
soft heart.
So
Yeah.
If
I don't
I
know.
were him, I would do the same thing, but also I would go home and just sleep in my piles of money.
Yeah.
maybe I
I'm
put
with
up
Sean.
the rails on the what is it, the bowling. Like
Oh,
I like steered you toward
Bumper
this
rail,
result. Yeah.
bumper.
Yeah,
But
the tracks.
I don't know. It's very interesting to think about. Like, just as so, like I care about music a lot, so I see like a lot of the artists that I like. All their record labels are like, TikTok is where it's at. You need to make music for TikTok. So you have people like Lizzo who's making, you know, in a minute, and it's like
The
it's-
length of songs have gone down.
Yeah, way down.
Yeah, so they can
Like
get
they're
more
short.
streams, more
Yep.
revenue.
Yeah.
Because a 2-minute song will be listened to more than an 8-minute song. They'll make more money off of that.
Yikes.
True.
But
Quick math.
and then yeah, you have artists who are going with it and they do well, and they're good songs. Some of them are sellout, and then you have people who push back against it. It's like, no, I'm going to keep doing like what I want to do.
I feel that.
Okay, so in this group, who's an artist, true artist, and who's a sellout?
Sell out.
Sean's a
Sellout.
sellout.
Sellout. Bro,
Charles
I
is-
want the
Charles is
bag,
kinda
baby.
sellout.
I'm sellout in style, where it's like I do it artistically. You know what I'm saying?
Artistic. I'm zero art.
And DJ's
I'm
DJ's an
autistic.
artist,
I'm too
bro.
much of a snob to sell out.
See, this
And
is
Ren-
why this
DJ's
works.
over
Ren
here.
is a snob
Sean's
too.
over here.
Yeah.
Ren is a
Yeah.
snob, and,
That's,
and
I
won't
think
sell out.
we would die on those hills before we ever.
Yeah.
This is why this works, though.
There are some people who are in their bag and sell out, and I'm like hype for them.
Yeah,
Because I think
get
they
that
can
money.
still like put out like some quality stuff. I don't know.
That's true, though. Like, they can still put out quality stuff.
Dude, you know we sell out when we start wearing like fingerless gloves and pretending to hear ghosts in hotels and like filming it.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
but I actually would
That's
do
kind of
that.
hype, bro.
Okay, low key, yeah, never mind. That's when we've made it.
That's
Yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah,
when
that's
we
when we
made
made
it. Not
it.
so. That's what we're trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting, dude. So what you're saying, DJ, is we need to make this episode 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
More listens.
streams.
Yeah.
More streams, more
So
listens.
thank you for coming. Trust to go watch your back.
Okay, bye. Let's get into stories. Are you guys down with that?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay, guys, we're gonna start where we left off from last week. We're still talking about the Warrens. This is Ed and Lorraine Warren, part 2. Welcome. Real quick, I just wanted to go over a couple things that the Warrens kind of. So, I'm reading this book, The Demonologist, and the really cool part of this type of research is like every line is like a nugget. And
Another
I
story.
find myself, well, yeah, or just like, wow, there's so many things we have speculated on in the past that they just like clearly define. So for instance, remember we used to talk about fingerprints and how do we think that works? And do you think spirits linger? Do they attach to people, events? Ed and Lorraine will have a whole page just like laying
is
it out.
how it
Like,
works.
this is how it happens. This is how it works. Yeah. And it's like, damn.
Are you done with the book yet?
No, and that's the thing. Like I've been so busy and kind of a big mega piece of shit, trying to keep myself alive and raise a child, that I've only gotten through one more story. So there's still like 10 more chapters in the book. So if we ever wanted to do an Ed and Lorraine part 3, like we could.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Maybe give me a couple weeks and we'll come back to it.
We're not in no rush.
Anyway, so like I said, so many nuggets of truth, so many clarifications on things, at least through their ideology. And it's like, I'm not saying I believe everything and I just like fully adopt their methods, but it's eye-opening. It informs me on what I believe. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some of those things that they're talking about, they go over very specifically how ghosts and non-human entities manifest, like how they actually do it. And do you remember me hating hardcore on any specific paranormal topics?
Or
I can think of two.
DJs.
Hating or hitting?
Yeah,
Hating.
Aliens?
one. And what's the other one?
Or was that you or you?
Both.
I think
I
me
was gonna
and
say-
DJ just like
I mean,
shit
I
all
also
over
hate
orbs.
on orbs, but I don't remember like
Yeah.
shitting on them.
Okay, so
I'd be shitting
Lorraine,
on the orbs.
I'd be shitting out orbs. Lorraine, don't you love that when it's like rabbit shit? Anyway, side note. Lorraine, you know what I'm talking about, bro. It's those non-wipers. Anyway,
Oh shit.
Lorraine breaks down how ghosts manifest. And first she describes, you remember how I talked about how in early childhood she could see auras?
Yeah.
And she described it as like a color or electricity and energy that we all give off.
Yeah.
So she's basically saying everything, every living thing in this earth, like gives off energy, right? And when we
Is it similar
interact,
to like the color personality test?
I'm a white.
Or is it more like
I
a
don't
good
know.
bad kind of thing?
I don't know. That'd be interesting. She didn't break that part down specifically, but that'd be interesting to
I'm
hear.
good.
If she
Googling
did, I want
what's
to
my
see it.
aura's
We should
color.
take the test.
Get our auras read.
Exactly.
Yes.
Get our auras read. What color are we?
They're just like gross. You're like, ouch. You have a gross aura.
It's like I don't see color. It's like you obviously don't have the gift.
Yeah. It's like you're a shit
Oh,
aura
there
reader
is,
then.
dude, a aura test.
I don't know if that's Ed and Lorraine ones though.
There's not one on BuzzFeed. Oh, there is one on BuzzFeed. Dude, I'm taking it while you tell your story, so go ahead.
Incredible.
Okay, you try to listen and take your test.
I got you.
So, auras are the energy we all give off, and some people can see that, right? Ghosts require energy to manifest. So, human entities will need an energy source to manifest, whether that's like a light bulb, an outlet, an electrical thing, or auras. So, what can happen is if they're in the room, if they're with you, they can mingle and interact with your aura. Aura? Dude. Your aura.
Yes.
And they can like feed on that energy and manifest. This is also why paranormal activity is higher or a better chance during like thunder clouds and lightning storms. It's because there's more energy in the air. So I thought that's interesting. And in locations where like the energy is higher, potentially like ley lines and the other places like that, where there's already like
It's
it has like
it's
a more
electric.
yes
Boogie woogie woogie.
Oh. Electric boogaloo. Is that what you're trying to do?
What's the song? It's electric. Electric slide.
the electric
dog.
slide, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. It's all coming together.
So just interesting. They described like a human entity. It might appear as a small ball of light,
An aura, dude.
an orb. And what might happen is that ball of light might mix with other balls of light and kind of cluster. And if it can get strong enough, that's when you will see a human personage.
Oh, damn.
And so they were talking about how orbs are kind of precursors to ghosts. And I was like, okay, that like gives me a framework that makes orbs way less annoying to me.
well,
Do you know what I'm saying?
what did you think it was before?
I don't know. I just thought it was, well, one, I think it's dust.
Dust. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just
Catching
thought
the
people were just like there's a spirit right there just cruising. And it's like, I don't know. I just didn't understand the science of like the electricity part of it, I guess. I don't know. And just to hear it validated by her, I was like, oh, okay. This isn't just hot topic kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Ed and Lorraine will come into situations where things are going on, right? Or they'll consult someone who's going through something.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they have a whole list of questions they'll ask to determine what kind of haunting this is. Is it a human haunting, or is it a demonic, non-human entity?
Okay.
So some of those things are the types of occurrences that happen, how strong it's happening, how strong the occurrences are happening. If things are getting thrown across the room, it's most likely not a ghost. It's going to be a demon because it requires a lot more energy to do stuff like that. So this
demons
next,
have a lot more energy, according to them.
Yes,
Demons have a lot more energy, even though because last episode you broke down one of their theories on how there's the two types, right?
Yep.
People who are angry and have left this world and their spirits have lingered, and two, non-human, basically spirits who never received a body.
Yeah.
So
like non-human demonic presences.
So how would I feel like somebody who had experience in the physical realm, like a human, would have a stronger connection to that than the other, is what I think in my mind. But who am I? I'm not Ed and Lorraine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're okay to question. I think the difference is like the human entity's experience is clouded by confusion and they're not too sure. Whereas like the demonic is like it's super intentional in its purpose and its directive, where it like wants to cause harm. Right.
Yeah.
So with those kind of differentiators and clues, I'm going to jump into our next story.
Okay.
We start off, once again, this is probably like 60s, 70s. I don't know. Maybe 80s. Okay, who knows? Two young nurses. They're both nurses full time, so they work quite a bit. They live in an apartment together, and they're just going about their life. Their names are Deidre and Laura. So they're going to school, nursing school. They're living their life, and at one point, I believe Deidre's mom buys her a birthday present. And when she gets it, she opens it up, and there sitting in this present is a doll. This doll is roughly the size of a small child with black button eyes. And it's kind of a weird gift to get as an adult nurse, but nonetheless, her mom gave it to her, I think she said it's for decoration. And so they set it up in Deidre's room, sitting in a chair, and they left it. Over the next several weeks, they would leave it sitting in its chair with its arms by its side, legs hanging off the chair. And when they would get home, they started noticing something off and odd. Every time they'd get home, the doll's arms would be crossed and legs would be crossed. At first, they thought, I don't know, maybe it's just like I forgot, maybe random, maybe it fell. I don't know. Who knows? Until it happens again and again and enough to where they become very aware and they say, okay, before we leave today, we're crossing this doll's arms and we're walking out of the room. They do that. When they get home that night, what do you think happened? Arms uncrossed, legs uncrossed. It's in a completely different position. So now they're like, this is weird. It escalates. They will leave it in Deidre's room. When they get home that night, it's now in the living room sitting on the couch. Then it's upstairs. Then it's downstairs. Until one day they open the door and whoever opens the door first screams. Because kneeling in a chair in front of the front door is this doll.
Are they interacting with it at all?
They're like, they'll move it back to where they put it.
Bro, that's why.
I don't know. So keep in mind, knowledge of these type of things back then, not as far spread. So the actions of these two So Deidre and Laura, DJ, you're Deidre, Sean, you're Laura. That you guys are busy, you're going to nursing school. It's like you're not really thinking about it, and you don't have a knowledge of like the occult and the demonic at this point. So at the very least, you're like, this is weird, right?
Yeah, I'm not into dolls.
It's not that weird until this thing happens where it's kneeling in this chair in front of the door. And you guys decide you want to investigate. So you try to pick it up and get it to kneel in the same position, and it will not balance. You literally can't get it to get back into the same position you found it in without it falling over. So now you two are on high alert. Next, you start finding it in rooms with the door closed. Next, you start finding notes.
Probably written on these like serial killer letters or something.
Notes
on these on these pieces of parchment is written help.
Parchment.
Stop.
Help.
Stop.
Shh.
Furthermore, it's written in pencil, and this pencil you guys cannot find in the apartment.
Oh,
there's no
like
pencils in the apartment.
Pencil, and we're like,
and it doesn't exist in the apartment. You tear it apart looking for the pencil. Also, this parchment you've never seen in your life, and there's not a scratch of it in the entire apartment.
It's like papyrus or some shit.
Yeah. It's a scroll. Anyway, you find these notes, help me. And then the next one you find sends chills down your spine because it says, help Cal.
Help what?
What?
Cal. C-A-L.
Cal.
You're one of your best friends. And I think, Laura, Sean, you're dating him.
Help Cal? What?
What?
Yeah, what the hell?
So
okay,
the vibe is changing.
A little bit.
This is starting to feel weird. You guys think to yourself, is someone playing a trick on us? Because you know it's not each other. So what do? Let's investigate. You guys take tape and you put it across the door. You draw tiny little marks on like windows and things like that to make sure they line up. And when you guys get home, everything's right where it is. No one is coming in or out of the apartment without your guys' knowledge. This escalates for almost a year. Like this stuff is going on for about a year. Until one day you walk in to the kitchen, I believe, and you look down and there is 3 drops of blood. This changes everything. Before it was like you could kind of ignore it. Now there's blood. You guys are scared. You have questions. What do you guys do? What would you two do?
Okay, so first thing I would have done would have happened a while back. I would have returned the doll once it was received. Problem solved.
You can't just return Deidre's doll. Look at Deidre's right there holding her doll.
What she don't know won't hurt her.
There's 2 things you can do. Their whole problem was, what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Exactly. They didn't change any of their day-to-day or their habits or what they did in the house or whatever. They kept trying to put her back. So you either take care of the doll. Somebody in chat said the ofrenda, like you give it offerings, right? Like, dude, in a lot of I feel like brown culture, all the Hispanics, all my Islanders,
you said it.
all my Islanders, like, dude, like I grew up with my tutu, my great grandma, like, and she was half Filipino, half Hawaiian. She would put food on the table for her mom and her dad who had passed away. Nobody else could sit on that seat, and it's like it took care of them, and we were always okay. So you take care of the thing, or you get rid of it.
So DJ sees the doll's arms uncrossed once, and he's cooking up some rice-a-roni for this thing.
Yeah, dude, some Vienna
He's like,
sausage.
let's get you fed.
Some Vienna sausage and rice.
Okay, so you two are wary, but unfortunately, these girls are not you two. They have questions. They do decide to switch it up, DJ, and they go find a medium, a psychic, someone who's going to help them. Because they're like, man, this feels like a ghost. Let's go talk to a psychic.
It sure does.
The psychic comes back and says, you know what? You're probably right. We should contact this thing. Let's have a seance. And let's reach out to this thing.
Why?
That's fine.
So, you two, you decide to reach out and contact this thing.
This
and
was
when you do,
non-consensual from my side.
no, Laura, you're in this, bro. You two reach out and quickly you make contact with a young girl. This is the ghost of a girl who lived and died on the property a long time ago. And her name is Annabelle Higgins. And Annabelle has been trying for so long to get your guys' attention. Have you noticed I've been moving my notes? I'm really excited because I have no friends. And you two seem cool. Can I be your friends?
No. There's a reason you don't have friends. Stop possessing our dolls.
So as they reach out to this thing, it asks them, can I be your friend? Can I stay with you? Can I move into the doll?
Oh.
And these two young, caring, empathetic nurses with their loving, caring heart think, oh my gosh, like this girl needs help. Yes, you can move into the doll.
That's what I like to hear. Dude.
So they start to recognize the doll from then on as Annabelle, as if it is like a young girl. That's how they start thinking about it, treating it, and like interacting with it, as if it's literally like a young girl named Annabelle. At this point, just so you know, the Warrens have been contacted. They have been reached out to. They have gone to the house of what's it called? Deidre and Laura, and they're kind of grilling them right now. Tell us your story. And so this is where they're at in the story.
I was going to
And
say,
while
when do
they're
they enter?
While they're telling the Warrens, Ed pretty much goes, wait, stop. You get this doll for your birthday. It moves around for about a year, leaves notes, and then you guys have a seance where it asks you if it can possess the body of this doll, and you guys gave it permission. And they were like, yes. And he said, have you guys ever seen the ghost of a little girl? And they said, no. And he goes, any other weird occurrences in the house? And they go, yeah, one time near Christmas, this random chocolate just like appeared on the TV.
Oh, hell
And
yeah,
no-
bro.
Like on top
No
of
one
the
brought it-
TV?
Yeah, no one brought it to the house. And he was like, okay. And then they were like, and then there was that one time where the lamp lifted up and was thrown across the room while no one was near it. And Ed's
So-
like,
Was that
Okay.
supposed to be scary? Well, the chocolate?
Yeah.
I don't know. They just kind of said it and said it happened. I think the
Oh,
focus is more on the lamp. And
spooky.
Ed's like,
He's like, it was
"Hmm."
a dark chocolate.
Or was it white? Yeah. Yeah. So at this point in the going back to the story, they start to treat the doll as if it's an actual child and giving it a lot of attention, like feeding into it, right? So along the way, they have a friend named Cal, C-A-L. And Cal, I think, is dating Laura. He's like hanging out with them often. He's in and out. He has his own place, but sometimes he like sleeps over. And from the very beginning, Cal is not a fan of this doll. He doesn't think it's cute. He doesn't like it. And he feels guilty and weird because he's brought it up to Deidre and Laura, but he's like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't like the doll. The doll doesn't like me. And they're like, you're crazy. Like, what do you mean the doll doesn't like you? So he's not a fan from day one. While they're talking to the Warrens, Laura goes, tell them about the dreams. And Cal goes, well, I've been having reoccurring nightmares. And Ed goes, what happens in the nightmare? And Cal says, it's really weird. doesn't feel like I'm dreaming. It feels like I'm watching myself sleep. And as I'm sleeping in my dark room, I can see the whole room. I can see me. I'm just like watching. And all of a sudden, at the foot of my bed, I can see Annabelle. She slowly glides up my body
Oh, hell no.
onto my chest. She reaches both of her hands out and they connect around my throat. And she begins to press me down into my bed. And as hard as I try, I cannot shake her, and I'm watching myself suffocate to death in the bed. He's like, I'm writhing. I can't breathe. And this happens all the time. I have this dream all the time.
And they're calling him crazy?
So why did they eventually call the Warrens? It's because it came to a point where someone was attacked. Ed goes, Cal, tell us about how it attacked you. And he goes, okay. Me and Laura are in the apartment. We're hanging out. We were going to go on a day trip the next day. So we're like looking over maps and kind of planning things out. When we hear a burglar in Deidre's room, like someone broke in, we can hear him moving around. We're super scared. I run over, open the door, and turn on the lights. And as I rush in, look around, there's no one in the room except Annabelle on the floor, just sprawled out. So he said, I walk up to the doll, and as I do, I get an overwhelming feeling that there's someone right behind me. So he quickly spins around, and he goes white. He stops talking. And Laura says, I heard him scream from the room, and he ran out into the living room with his shirt soaked in blood. And Cal kind of composes himself and he goes, something scratched me. So they open his shirt, his blood-soaked shirt, and he has claw marks, 3 across and 4 down, almost like an upside down cross
Oh, shit.
across his chest. Ed goes, have you ever had these ever happen in your life? No.
Have you ever had 3
he's like, yeah, I
scratches,
hate it.
4 up?
I hate it when that happens.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, often. He says, what did they feel like? And he said, they burned. They burned from the inside. And Lorraine says, how long did they take to heal? And he kind of looks at him because it's a weird question. And he's like, they were healed within 2 days, fully healed. Like they healed really fast. And they both kind of nod their head and then say, okay. Needless to say, everyone's startled. You two freak the F out. Like the girls no longer want to live in the apartment. And you guys basically tell the Warrens, you're like, it's cool because we're moving out. We're leaving. Now, Ed shakes his head and he says, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be that simple because you guys unknowingly made a lot of mistakes. And he goes, I don't think simply moving is going to solve this. Ed goes down. So Ed listens to this whole recounting, Ed and Lorraine. They have their recorder, their briefcase, their papers, their notes. They're sitting in their living room. The 3 of them are on the couch. Ed and Lorraine are sitting there watching, hearing all this story, right? And now Ed's about to give his analysis, and he asks a ton of questions to kind of narrow in on what's exactly going on here. And basically his analysis is you guys up big, like really bad, a lot from the very beginning, and it's not really your fault. He said, well, because they didn't understand and they were tricked. So he said, if you guys move,
they also were making some dumb mistakes.
You can't feign ignorance for a year straight.
Yeah. I kind of feel like our knowledge of horror movies and things like that really do
people who don't watch horror movies know.
In what part of your mind are you like, I'm talking to the spirit of someone no longer alive and it's asking to be in my house in this doll? Yeah, that's chill. Even someone who doesn't watch scary movies should know. No.
I guess they're just nicer than you guys, you know? No, that's why you guys aren't nurses, dude. No, I don't know. Like I can sit here and yeah, I think they're dumb, but like, let's go over their mistakes. Very first one, they invited this thing in, and Ed says that's the biggest mistake. He goes, no ghost would ask to inhabit the body of a doll. And so they ask like, okay, so is the doll possessed? And he goes, no. Demons, non-human entities, don't possess objects. Their goal is to possess you. And he goes, you guys are very lucky you got off light, because I think one of you was going to end up dead or possessed. And so that scratch on the chest is like, you guys are lucky. They reach out to a priest. Priest shows up. He does an Episcopal exorcism, and it's like a 7-page prayer. He walks around the apartment, and it's less about casting things out, and an Episcopal exorcism is more about inviting holy good things in to replace it. It's kind of interesting. So it's not like the whole dramatic like get the f- out. It's just like
Power of Christ compels you.
yeah. So it's more like just inviting good things to take the place of bad.
That makes
So he
sense.
does that. He blesses the apartment. He blesses all of them, all the people. And then they get to the doll. They're like, what should we do? And Ed and Lorraine decide, you know what? I think the safest thing is for us to take this. So they throw it in the back of their car and they start the long journey back to their home. And on the way home, their suspicions about the danger of the doll are confirmed, because multiple times as they're coming around bends in like narrow roads, the car completely stalls. Like the car turns off until finally it stalls at a point where they almost go into oncoming traffic. Ed, I get the feeling he does this often. He reaches into his bag, grabs out the holy water, and turns around and starts blasting this thing. Just bah, 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 blessing the shit out of it. And everything calms down and they finally get home. For a really long time, this doll lived at the Ed and Lorraine's house, and it was free. Like they would let it just be places. And same thing. It would never be in the same room. It would always be in different rooms. It eventually kind of liked Ed's office, so they'd often find it in Ed's office. And when it moved into the house, they noticed a black cat would like always be outside the window, whatever room it was, which is like, okay, just random. Ed and Lorraine had a lot of like guests at their house, different people, clergymen, detectives. They're always helping on a case. You know what I mean? Like academics and things like that. People are at their house. And over the years, the doll had run-ins with many of these people. The doll specifically hated clergymen. So one time, Lorraine is on the phone with a priest consulting on a case. And while she's talking to him, every time the priest talks, she hears a growl in the house, a deep growl. And later she kind of divines that it was coming from Annabelle. One time a priest came, picked up the doll, and was like, oh, this is the famous doll from that case, you know? And
Damn,
like,
that's bold.
He basically is like, you'll never harm anyone, and he chucks it. He chucks it across the room.
Dude, you f***ed up.
Ed and Lorraine both see him, and they're like, hey, no. Like, bad.
No.
They go through their whole night, whatever, and he gets on his cars, and he starts to leave, and Lorraine pulls him aside and goes, you need to be careful. And he kind of like brushes it off. I'll be fine. She's like, you really need to be careful. I'll be fine. Couple hours later, the phone rings. It's the priest. And he goes, Lorraine there? This is her. What did you mean? And she's like, I feel weird telling you this, but I saw your car explode in an accident. And he goes, it did. I almost died. I'm like barely alive. I just made it out. Couple other things. Ed once left a police detective alone in his office with this thing, and when he came back, the police detective, grizzled old man who's like seen everything. He's his white is a sheet shaking, and he's like, the doll is alive. The doll is alive. And then the last one, they had a carpenter doing work one day, and he was in the room, and the doll was in the room with him. And Lorraine said, would you like some holy water to maybe bless up? And he's like, nah, I'm not really into that stuff. And then something happens. I think the black cat like jumped out of nowhere and like landed on the perch by him, and someone screamed, and the carpenter reaches over, grabs the water, and blesses himself. Needless to say, at some point the doll becomes too dangerous, and Ed and Lorraine decide they need to lock it up. And they do. And it goes into their museum. And that is where the doll of Annabelle has remained ever since. And that's the story of Annabelle the doll.
Damn.
Is it not crazy that we got this doll today?
Is it not? It really is.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
insane.
Are you guys going to be okay tonight when it starts gliding up your chest?
Shawnee boy.
No, I'm chilling, dude. All of my to face scary things in life came from The Big Green, the movie Become the Nightmare. So as it like
Sean
grabs
becomes a
my
bigger
neck,
doll.
it's
Sean,
gonna grab its own neck, and
Sean's got the red hair.
yeah, no, we're tight.
So he's protected.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have no soul to give.
Yeah, the doll's like, I want your soul. And it's like, shit.
soulless.
DJ, you better watch out. You're full of aloha, dude.
No,
That's like soul plus.
I'm trying to take care of this thing, bro. So it takes care of me. You know, like a few years ago, Jordan seriously looked me in the eye and was like, I do not mess with bugs. He's like, I'm not afraid of them, but I'm not gonna I don't kill them. Like I'll give them a home. I'll take care of them. I was like, why, dude? And he was like, just in case one day they attack. It's like they'll remember me. And I was like, okay, but I get it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is anxiety and paranoia right there.
I get it.
Can we go ahead and pull up the first photo, Ren?
Yeah.
So this is how they depict the doll in the movie. Absolutely terrifying. Terrifying eyes, cracked, scratches on the face, terrifying mouth smile. Horrible, horrifying.
Wanna be Zoe Deschanel bangs right there?
Yeah, for real.
Like for real, if
Who's
a mother
that
gave
girl?
their daughter this,
It's Belle.
Yeah. Anna.
It's Anna.
Yeah, if a mother gave their daughter this, straight to jail, dude. CPS,
Straight to jail.
call it. Yeah. Child Protective, Service. That's what they did in the movie. Let's go ahead and look at the real doll. And there's the real doll.
that kind of might be scarier.
I was gonna say, in a weird way, this thing is way scarier.
It looks like there's an actual like small person in this doll.
dude.
Does it not?
I totally forgot a part.
Oh shh.
Does she
One
has-
part.
Oh, go ahead.
So one part. You know when the priest like mocked the doll and threw it across the room?
Yeah.
Later in the dinner party, the Warren's house is like covered in ornaments, like masks and necklaces and all this shit. And on the wall, there's this big ornament near the priest, and it shatters, bursts into a million pieces near the priest, freaks everyone out. And everyone sees two red lights pointing towards the priest coming from Annabelle.
What?
But
What were
anyway,
the
you
lights
could
coming from?
Two red
I don't know, but-
lights.
yeah, like pin lights. But I was just looking at the
Psych-
doll right now, and you could see
sights?
those two little red dots. Yeah,
SEAL Team 6 outside.
yeah.
About to pop son.
Get down, sniper.
Yeah, dude. This
Anyway.
this doll is way more savage. Look at those hands, dude.
Yeah, those would
Club
choke your ass
fist,
out.
dude.
Oh,
It just knock like blunt force trauma to the head.
Oh my gosh, you're
This
right.
this doll runs the Wendy's Twitter account.
Bro, look at them cankles, dog.
Dude,
I hate
those legs are long, bro.
Yeah,
Want
this
to-
thing's like as tall as a child. It's not okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing's about to roundhouse you real quick.
Oh, I also forgot,
It's got
like,
the Chun-Li legs.
they treated this thing like a real doll, and doing that, like giving it so much energy. What's his name? Ed is like, y'all should have ignored this thing from the beginning. Like,
See?
y'all are dumb. He
Yeah.
calls him out pretty hard. He's like, you should have disregarded everything from the start. So
I'm with Ed, dude.
me too. That's the story. I know I said I was going to do Amityville, but I don't know. I felt weirdly impressed to do Annabelle tonight, not Amityville. And it's weird because it showed up in the mail.
Dude, that is weird, bro.
Love it.
That's
Anyway,
why we
that's
need
me
a part
tonight.
3, though.
Love you.
So I have a question. We have Sean's story, and then we have like 6 more cases by the Warrens. I can either cover one of those cases in a bonus, or we can do a part 3. What do you guys think? What do you chat think? What should we do? Do a whole part 3 on the Warrens, or just cover it for a bonus? What do you guys think?
I think we should all put it in the bonus.
All in the bonus?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You just have a beefy bonus?
Yeah, dude. Our patron's been thirsty.
Okay. Then let's do that. Guys, for this week's bonus episode, I will be covering all the other cases of the Warrens and going over each one of them. So if you guys want to hear that, head over to patreon.com/the3am pod, where for $2 a month, you can become a patron, support the podcast, help us do cool things, help us get famous on TikTok, and hear this bonus story and all the other bonus stories. So, Sean, do you want to close us out with yours?
All right, guys. So for our Patreon story this week, I'm going to be sharing another Warren case.
Yay.
It's probably one of the more strange, not having to do with their typical, demons and child ghosts.
Just get into it, dude.
Holy hell, dude. I'd be
Dude, that's
terrified
fun.
to see that, and I'd just walking through the woods, and all of a sudden, I'd be terrified.
That was a refreshing change of pace from the typical
Warren
Adam-
stories.
not that I'm tired of them, but wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
It's just different.
It's just different, bro.
Yeah.
Built different.
Mhm.
Bill.
Bill different, dude.
Shit.
What's it called? It has a feeling a little bit like I used to watch Scooby-Doo, and it's like, how is something crazy happening everywhere these guys go? You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah.
And it kind of same vibes with the Warrens a little bit. And just to
Yeah.
tie it in, like we talked about it briefly in the beginning, but there are a lot of people who are very skeptical of the Warrens. There's entire foundations and organizations dedicated to disproving them. And a lot of people are convinced that not only were they lies, but they were very, harmful with some of the things they put out there and some of the things we did. I'm going to let you guys do your own research. There's things like certain cases where people claim it was completely made up for monetary gain. Sometimes they said the Warrens didn't even go to this case. They did the whole thing over the phone. So like, how the hell? So there's things like that. Everyone, you go out, do your own research, come up with your own conclusions, but nonetheless, the stories are fun, and that's what I care about. So if you care about the facts and being lame, then go do that. All right. But whether that's true or not, Ed and Lorraine Warren contributed an insane amount to the paranormal research, to the horror genre at large. And it's reading The Demonologist I've really enjoyed. So if anyone is interested, I highly suggest getting it. It's an easy listen. I've downloaded different books on magic and the occult and this and that, and they're really hard to get through, but this one's fun. It's like entertainment and educational. So go ahead and pick that up. It's The Demonologist by Gerald Brittle. Yeah, Gerald Brittle.
Oh, okay.
It's very good. But anyway, super fascinating characters. I would love, they're probably one of our white whale podcast guests. That would be so rad. But it's been fun diving deep, and it's been fun doing this new topic, and you guys both killed it with both your stories. It's so funny because as we were preparing tonight for this episode, I was like, this is boring. I don't want to listen to me. I want to hear stories from you two. So thank you for preparing the stories you guys did. It was really fun. And thanks for everyone to showing up and hanging out. We appreciate.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all delivering. So thanks for joining us another week. Grateful to be here with the limited time we have.
Just in time for Halloween, we can drop this episode.
But yeah, trust you got what your back, everyone.
Bye, love you, be safe.
Be careful out there.
Okay, bye.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of 3 a.m. If you want to support us, visit our Patreon where patrons have access to exclusive content. If you're not able to support us monetarily, don't worry. This episode is on us. You can still rate and review us on whatever platform you listen to us on. It really does go a long way. You can also follow us on social media. Our handle everywhere, including Patreon, is the 3 a.m. pod. Finally, do you have any scary stories? If so, submit them to our website, the3ampodcast.com. We love any audio or visual aids that can help bring your stories to life. So file uploads are welcome with your written submissions. We're anxious and excited to hear from you.